What's up guys, Meredith with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we are checking out the MotoFab 1-inch rear leveling kit fitting all 2019 and newer Silverado 1500s, excluding the Trail Boss and ZR2 models. Now, whether you've lifted the front of your Silverado and want some extra height in the rear to get rid of that squatted look, or you need a little added height so your bed's not dragging when you're towing or hauling, this is going to be a great solution for you. Now, it's even better for the Silverado owner who's looking for that additional height and doesn't want to get involved in a bunch of work in the back of their suspension as far as replacing leaf springs, or they don't want to spend a bunch of money considering that this is an affordable choice. This kit will be super simple with a 1-inch block to install right between the leaf spring and the axle, which will give your rear end the boost that it may need. Now that will level out the appearance of the truck depending on what suspension that you have in the front, and will reduce the amount of drop that you get when you're towing or hauling, giving you a little bit more clearance in the wheel well in those scenarios. Now it's also going to provide more clearance in the back if you've noticed that your truck's lacking on those departure angles. All around going to be a great addition for matching front suspension or just getting a little bit of performance out of the back. These blocks will be made of a thick billet aluminum construction, and they're each going to have an alignment pin on the front and a hole on the back for the factory alignment pin to keep the block in place. Now on top, this will have a black powder coat finish that's going to protect the block from any corrosion or rusting and any weathering over time, considering that it is subject to all of the gunk, whether you are keeping to the street or even taking your truck off-road. Now it's also going to include steel powder-coated U-bolts that are going to be longer than factory to ensure an accurate and a secure fit. This kit's gonna come in at about $90, which is super affordable compared to other solutions. Now, one thing I do like about this choice is that it's pretty subtle compared to other larger options if you only need a little boost, and it will allow you to customize your suspension, pairing it whatever front suspension that you want. Now, for the benefits at this price point, I definitely think that it's a no-brainer to get some better performance for the rear end of your Silverado. Now, install will be at 3 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and it should take you about 2 hours to get the job done with the right tools, experience, and setup. Now, at this point, we can head over to our shop and check out a detailed breakdown, whether you're doing this yourself or just interested in the process. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
Tools required for this install include a couple different size impact guns, a 21mm wrench, 21 and 22mm sockets, and a 21mm swivel socket. What's up guys? Today we're installing a leveling kit on our Silverado, so let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is remove our shock from the bottom mount. So I'm going to take a 21mm socket and 21mm wrench to pop this out. Now with our shock removed, you want to make sure you have a pole jack or a jack stand supporting your axle. And we can take a 21mm socket to remove the 4 nuts on our U-bolt. And then we can slide our bracket off our U-bolts, and we'll remove our 2 U-bolts. Now we can lower down our axle with the pole jack or your jack so that we can get our lift block in place. You just want to make sure your pins are in the right holes. You can start raising this up. Straighten it out. And then we can drop our 2 U-bolts into place. And we'll make sure that they're sitting in the 2 grooves. And then we'll go back under, get our bracket and our new nuts installed. So now we can reinstall our bracket. And then we'll start threading on our new washer and nut. And now we can take a 22mm socket and tighten these down. And now with our bracket tightened down, we can slide our shock back into place. And put our bolt through. And then get our nut on the other side. And then we'll take our 21 millimeter socket and wrench to tighten this down. And you can do that same thing on the other side. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Motofab 1-inch rear leveling kit for your 2019 and newer Silverado 1500, excluding Trail Boss and ZR2. Thank you for watching, and for all things Silverado, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.